Thank you, Dan. So what is our mission? Our mission is to support sustainable agriculture. That's our broad mission. We do so through biodynamic agriculture and other forms of regenerative agriculture. But one of the things that I've always felt strongly about is that Brookfield Farm is a historical farm. It has had significance in the larger farm movement in the United States that I think a lot of people are aware of and a lot of people are not aware of. So for those of you who don't know, as a biodynamic farm, we were the third biodynamic CSA in the United States, and Nikki will be talking a little bit more about the history of that. And in fact, we were the third, but we also started the farm the same year as the first two did. So we're kind of all three of us the first. The other thing I wanted to say was we're, as a community-supported agriculture, this is a movement that came from Europe, but in doing research for this particular speech, I learned that actually CSA, the model, comes from many different sources. It comes from Japan, and it also comes from the South. There was a gentleman by the name of Booker T. Whately in 1960s who worked at Tuskegee University, and he had this program called the clientele membership, in which you would pay for your farm produce before the season began, which is exactly the model of CSA. So this model of CSAs is something that comes from the United States, it comes from Europe, it comes from Asia. It's a broad-reaching form. The other thing I wanted just to add is that, as we all know in the United States, farmland has decreased in terms of the amount of farmland. Back in the 60s, it was almost 50% of the land was farmland, and we're down to 42 or 43% right now. In Massachusetts, it's more of a crisis than ever before. So contextually, this is something that we all need to keep a mind on. And then finally, just wanted to also point out that we all live in the Pioneer Valley, and we all enjoy the local food movement here, the rich local food movement here. But Brookfield Farm really was one of the first things to start this. So in 1986, we were the only CSA. In the early 90s, there was the Food Bank Farm and a few others. And now there are over 60 CSAs in the Pioneer Valley. So we've really grown, and we're really a rich group of the community is very rich in this kind of form of agriculture. And also generationally, we're also experiencing here our third generation of farming in the CSA. And I don't know too many farms in the United States that have already hit the third generation. So all that being said, it's very important just to think in terms of we are always been a pioneer, and moving forward, owning our land as a trust, that's a pioneering thing. And it's something that, as we mentioned, this is a capital campaign, but we're calling it for generations to come. And we really want this to be for generations to come. What our investment here in today's land will be for something for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. So how we all started here is really an interesting story, and I'm going to introduce Nikki Robb, who is the original farmer with her husband Ian, and she will tell you a little bit about that.